the Sub-Zero winter as I welcome you back to RBR, guys, and to the first video of 2023. And how better to start than the collection of a raw V8 AMG that's sitting waiting for me at the moment at Topaz Detailing. It was sent straight from Mercedes-Benz Northampton to get PPF detailed and ready for me to collect today. Now I've got a lot of updates for you today with regards to my own little car collection, some really significant updates. And the first one actually begins right here where the C63 is, because this is a rather odd space for the C63 to be standing. This isn't the place where I normally park this car. I normally used to park my Taycan Cross Turismo here, because look, we've got the Anderson charging section here, but I sold that car just about a month ago because my new Taycan has just arrived at Porsche Reading. That's going to be the video after this. Why is the C63 standing here? It's obviously because I'm missing the 4-cylinder hybrid. No, I've barely washed the taste of that car out of my mouth. That's not the reason. It just looks rather cool here. The other update today that I'm going to give you is on my SL. A lot of you guys know on Instagram that about 3 weeks into ownership, it got very ill. And it's been gone ever since. And I'm going to give you an update about that later on after I collect this car. But my current position is such that I'm surrounded by two-door, four-seat cars or two-seat cars. So the GT Black series on Cup 2Rs, utterly useless in this cold weather. C63 Black on 4Ss. Over here, a rather mucky 992 GTS and the ever reliable Ruby. And the G-Wagon was a huge help in retrieving Ruby before we did some filming with Mercedes-Benz Museum for a video that you'll hopefully see this month. So the G63 is great, but pretty much my only usable car till the Taycan arrives. But today we're fixing that because we're going to go and get an E63, which of course, 4MATIC Plus, sitting on 4Ss, is really going to help us in this type of weather. So let's get the car on. I've got my AMG bag here as well, with all the goodies and little mods that we're going to do when we get to Topaz. So let's head there right now and pick up the E63. As is tradition, a quick stop at the A40 Costa drive-through before heading off to Topaz, because that is RBR tradition. A bit of coffee and caffeine first before we get a new AMG. Thought you guys might enjoy that. So we've arrived at Topaz. This car was relatively clean when we left the house. This is the problem when you clean a car in the UK during the winter months. It just gets absolutely... Look at the salt and stuff all over it. It's awful. That's like 20 minutes of driving. Anyway, that's life. And the good thing is the final editions look fantastic even when they're mucky as well. Speaking of final edition, if you haven't seen my collection video, do check it out, but there are some nice little details around these type of cars. C-pillar has the Volkswagen badge on it. It's finished in a lovely Magna graphite grey. You've got the AMG stripes, which are well hidden under our grime and our salt in here. And this car's brother, which is inside, shares a lot of these details. It is the E63 Final Edition, but it's a surprise as well, because it might not be quite the one that you're expecting. And this is going to be number 3 out of my Batmobile trio. This being 2, number 1 being the GT Black series, and this one will complete the set. So let's go inside and let's check out the third one. Almost forgot my AMG bag. Right, now let's go inside. Here we are at Topaz London. One of the many benefits of getting any type of work done here is that this place is like a candy shop for big kids like me. The things you see here, there's such a variety of stuff. Like, look at this E-Type. What other PPF place are you going to see, or detailing place, you know, where you're just going to casually see an E-Type sitting around? And even this might be common as much. The type of stuff that they get in here, half the stuff you can't even talk about. It's quite fantastic. This is Nabil's car, the owner, where they're trying some experimentation with color change, which is quite interesting. There's loads of cool things here. Got the NSX here, which I'll tell you more about in a minute as well. Again, you know, unicorn just sitting here. Got a lovely speedster in a beautiful blue here. But we'll talk about the other cars that they have here in due course. Up these stairs is my E63. We just have to go and see it. Let's go and check that out now. All right, guys, there we go. I can see up there. There it is. Let's go and see. First look. And there she is. So yes, I did the smart thing. It is a wagon. It's not a sedan. Before I pull the covers off, let's take a look at the cover, because just like the C63 S Final Edition, AMG have given this a unique car cover, which is a nice little touch. Little touches like this, I always say, mean the world to the customer. So you can see you've got E63 S Final Edition written here, and then on the C pillar, just like the C-Class, numbered edition. So one of 999 wagons and sedans, only 999 in the world. Oh, there's nothing like the silhouette of an AMG Power Wagon, even with a cover all over it. Now, before I pull the covers off, just one sec, because this place is actually quite distracting. Like I said, they get amazing things here. Look at this 930 Turbo, where they've applied these wonderful classic stripes in like a mint green, and the classic Porsche stripes on the side as well. Look at that. Reminiscent of kind of a Singer-esque design. So it's not just PPF and detailing, they can do some more interesting aesthetic stuff here. Here, just casually sitting, is HR Owen's 296, the first Spider here of theirs, and amazingly, carbon wheels. And Topaz have actually PPF'd these, you know, just because they can. Actually quite gorgeous in the flesh, this, I must say. First time seeing one properly. But anyway, main event time. Enough teasing. Last V8 for E63, or, you know, the last proper E AMG as far as I'm concerned. And this is what it looks like. Look at that. I mean, I know you knew already what it looks like, and so did I. But when you actually see it, rather than a render in the flesh, it is a special, special thing, isn't it? So, like the C63 Final Edition and my GT Black series, it's finished in Magno Graphite Grey, factory paint finish, which is a matte finish. Topaz, I'll explain what they've done in PPF and detailing terms in a minute. In terms of the actual edition, Magna Graphite Grey, you've got black chrome parts all around the car, which I will point out to you. Carbon ceramics come standard in the UK, and a unique wheel finish that I'll show you as well. So let's get up close to it and have a look at all the details. So let's start with the rear, because this is a power wagon, and like with the other Final Edition, we've got the Affalterbach crest sitting here on the rear, just like in the C63. A nice little touch. If you know, you know that this is a Final Edition. Then you see the unique wheels there on the side, the AMG stripe as well. The wheels are gorgeous. So they're actually in a like a chrome finish. This is going to be very difficult to repair if it all goes wrong. So I'm slightly hesitant about that, but they match really nicely with the carbon ceramics at the back. Side stripe, very much like C63 Final Edition, but more subtle, no yellow. So this is more of a sleeper, this car. It does make sense for it to be not as shouty as the C63, and I think that's a good job actually. Similarly, we've got the black chrome pipes here. These are the new fluted design that you'll see on the latest AMGs. E63 is just old enough to get nice, newer design bits from the newer AMGs in this, but with a proper V8 engine as well. So win-win for me, win-win for me. The only bad thing about E63, you don't get the wide arches like RS6 and RS4. But it's fine. The rest of it kind of makes up for it, as does the engine, which is a proper 63. Then we come around to the front, and again you get that view at the side with the carbon ceramics, the gorgeous Magna Graphite Grey paintwork. Facelift front end, a little bit softer than the pre-facelift, I think, in hindsight. And then one lovely mod I've added here, and I'll give you the part number for this in a minute, is the Affalterbach crest that goes on the front, which I think much better than the Mercedes Star. So those are the external details. Now I'm going to take the car downstairs. I'll explain to you what Topaz have done to the car, and then we'll also look inside, because the interior is actually very special indeed. And here we are in front of the famous Topaz sign in the exact same place my GT Black Series sat after it had its PPF done as well. Bit nostalgic and a nice tie-in to its big brother as well. So I'm going to show you the interior, I'm going to explain to you what happened to my SL as well, why this car has replaced it, and show you some discounts that you can get with Topaz just through RBR. But before all of that, we're going to go back in time and I'm going to show you what I decided to do on this car in terms of protection. Right guys, so heading back in time, this is actually the first time that I've ever seen the car when we're applying the PPF here at Topaz, and now we're getting on some of the more intricate panels here. As you can see James working on it, we've got, this is the Aeroflick that he's currently working on. All very tightly done, you can see, can't even see the line because they've gone so far under the front headlight here. Mikhail's here working on the most interesting bit, because I've done a lot of PPFing around badges over the years. I've never ever seen it done this tight. They didn't remove the badges because I didn't want the badges removed, and instead, look how tight that is. I can't see the seam around it. That's how well that is done. I'm so impressed with that, and that makes me so happy because that area can get wrong so easily, can't it? So the fact that that's going to be so tight on there makes me very happy. So we're getting a full front end done on the car, also paint correction, detail, etc. Well worth doing before you pick up the car, particularly in this type of weather when it's absolutely awful outside. Now the car's going to be ready to deal with all of that. So apart from that, our entire front end is done. We've done the front bumper, the bonnet is done as well. As you can see, like I said, really, really tight here. Beautifully, beautifully done. We've also done the side mirrors because these take a lot of abuse, and the fact that they're in carbon, we do want them protected, so it's a good job that we've done that. And of course front end means also protecting the headlights, and we have the cover here now on the headlights. Now I keep repeating that we don't want to see any seams, and it's really important because A, they look ugly, but B, whenever PPF starts to lift, it's because of seams, it's because of them being exposed to the elements. So again, really important that you have experienced people applying this stuff, you know, who've done hundreds and hundreds and thousands of cars, and that's when it gets right, and that's when the cutting is done right. That's when it's all tight and it makes sure that your PPF is going to last for as many years as you need it to. Now the other challenge with the final edition was this stripe that comes along, and this is not finished in a satin finish. This stripe is actually glossy. Now as we're only doing the front end of this car, which includes the wing comes along with the stripe. So what Topaz have done is cut around it, and you can't even see where. How fantastic a job is that? That's impressive, isn't it? I mean, he's happy. And that's, like I said, I'm repeating things, that's exactly what you want. You don't want to be able to tell where it's done, where it starts and where it finishes. Superb. So, you know, with older cars like this, it's not like these cars that are made at factory, every panel's identical, etc. These, each panel from each different car that's made is probably a little bit different. They're probably all put together in a bit of a different way, which means when you're PPFing them and you're patterning them, each car is eventually actually going to be slightly different. It's the difference of a few millimeters, but for Topaz, when they're looking for detail and they're looking for things to be just right, that is enough of a difference to have to pattern every single unique car that comes in. So this car is unique. It's being patterned. That pattern will live here in Topaz's database forever. So if it ever needs to be redone, it can be. Exactly the same here with the E-Type. Where else are you going to find a pattern that will match this exact car with its hand-built nature? You won't. So it has to be done manually, but it's worth it because then you will never see where it's done it, and it will be a perfect job. And check out this brand new 296 with the carbon wheels, also with PPF. Now this PPF doesn't come with any guarantee because obviously it's going to get mashed, but it's a first layer of protection on what is a 20k plus carbon wheel. And look at that, you can't even tell where the seams are on it. Fantastic job. Taycan Sport Turismo 4S, a car that I'm collecting next on RBR. Super happy to see that. First time I've seen one in person in a gorgeous, gorgeous colour that I might actually choose myself if I was ordering one. Wait and see, wait and see. And here we go. Here's the finished article now. Full frontal PPF, as you saw, with our bonnet, our front bumper, side wing, side mirrors and the headlights all completed. Before that we did a full decontamination of the paintwork, And then once the PPF was complete, ceramic, which means in terms of the winter months, that horrible weather that you saw outside with the C63, this is going to give it the best shot at A, being cleaned easier, and B, getting the water off before even cleaning, which is great. But that's not where it ends, because maintenance is also important, as you can see with Topaz. Enhance, protect, and maintain. And what they give you with maintenance is a set of products that I got with my GT Black series, and I've got with the E63 here, and let me show you them right now. So guys, here is the Topaz Magic Kit, okay? And this is all about maintenance of your car. I've used it extensively. You guys have seen me on Instagram all the time using this stuff. And in the main package, you get 6 different products. So we've got our glass cleaner, tire dressing, car shampoo, interior cleaner, quick detailer, which I find so useful, and then finally the wheel cleaner. The cool thing is you can get extra size versions of these as well, but that's not where the products end. They also have more stuff like for the interior. So I've asked for these specifically because I didn't have anything good for the interior on my cars. And what we've got here is leather guard, which does what it says on the tin, fabric cleaner for stuff like Alcantara, stitching, etc. And then finally, odor eliminator, you know, pets, families, Asians eating KFC in their cars. You know what I'm talking about. That type of stuff, very useful. Now, RBR fans get discount codes for Topaz, which is a rare thing because they're a premium company who don't often offer discounts. But I'm telling you this, pay attention because I fought for you on this, okay? 3 different discounts you're gonna get. Number 1, these products, you will get 20% off if you use the code RBR. That is up until the end of February, so please make use of it. They're brilliant. If you want to see proof of that, go to my Instagram. You'll see me using it all the time and they work really well. Second discount code you get is a level 2 detail, 25% off. Again, use that code RBR. And the final one, book in your car for PPF and you'll get this box completely free. Even if it's a future booking, when you bring the car in, you'll get one of this and it's worth a good couple £100. So use the code RBR, avail those discounts. Now I need to tell you all about what happened to my SL and why did I have to replace it with this car. So guys, my SL, the elephant in the room has been, where the hell has it been? I only had use of it for 3 months and after that it basically sat at the dealership with varying things. A lot of it was just updates because it was such a new car every day with either getting driver's seat control updates, roof updates, MBUX updates and all sorts of stuff. The issues I had with the car were some issues with fogging in the central screen, so it needed to be replaced, issue with squeaky brakes, and a few other bits and pieces like the battery draining. But apart from that, I absolutely loved the car, and that's what really hurts. I did 1,000 miles in about 3 weeks, which is quite a lot for a roadster like that. I loved it to pieces, and I will explain to you why I loved it when I review the MB UK press car, because I've decided to give that car back completely, get a refund, because as much as I love it, it wasn't working out financially in terms of the amount of money I'd laid into it in order to keep it versus the compensation I was going to get at the end, frankly speaking. So what I decided was to get a much more long-term car, which is what the E63 Final Edition is. It sits beautifully alongside the C63 and the GT Black. I can't wait to get all 3 of them together in a family shot, which of course we are going to do. But this makes sense to me. V8 Power Wagon to replace that. We can get an SL or an AMG GT anytime. Now I'm going to take you inside because what they've done in the Final Edition interior is actually quite special. There's a couple of little things that I really like. I want to show you that before we turn the car on and listen to the V8. Okay guys, let's now check out the interior. You waited long enough to see this element. The first nice surprise is you get the Affalterbach hologram from the door. This is something I upgraded in my C63 Black series to do many years ago, but it's nice to see in a Final Edition as well. When we look here, the seats have been nicely covered up. Let me show you. There's a seat reveal. They're actually really quite beautiful. So this is the 2-tone, what they call black nappa with, I believe, magma grey, which is a rather lovely leather finish. It's kind of like, I don't know, almost like a greenish, brownish leather against the black nappa and the yellow stitching. And I think it works quite well. And it kind of makes the E63 Final Edition a bit unique compared to the C63. You also got the Affalterbach crest on the top of the seat rest there, all of that tying into where you see it in the other parts of the car as well, which is great. So that's a nice touch. You also get the newly updated steering wheel that I'm not a massive fan of that steering wheel, if I'm honest with you. This at least, AMG have fixed the spoke and it's not that horrible thick spoke that you have in the older cars. And one final reveal before I sit inside is probably the best part that they've done, unique to this car, is the lovely new floor mats. AMG haven't done these before. They're gorgeous, more like what they used to do in the AMG Performance Studio when you had a custom car. So that's a really nice touch to make the E63 Final look a little bit more special. And this is what the wagon is all about. Space. Space for your rear occupants, beautiful AMG stitching and a unique interior. There's going to be a hell of a car to spend time in with the family, road trips, chuck everything you want in it. Proper AMG workhorse. Now inside the, oh look, hang on, I got the absolute right watch for the job, matching the interior. This is a Tudor Black Bay Pro with the yellow fabric strap. Very nice. We all love watches, don't we, and cars. So there you see the face of the E63. Look, it's a baby. It's only done 9 miles. It's literally not touched the road. I'm going to be the first person to drive it, which is as it should be. But I thought I'd show you a first-hand look at the interior here. Let's first get the screen on and turn MBUX on. Lovely entrance screen there. And then you see the steering wheel. So they fixed this spoke element. You had the horrible thick one before. Now you've got the more classic one, which is much easier to hold and looks a lot better. This is the first time I've seen yellow stitching used in this as well. A bit of nice Alcantara, so that looks really good. Final edition gets carbon fiber everywhere, as you can see, and it is extensive in E63 as it is in GT, 4-door, etc. And one lovely thing that Topaz have done for me, which was something I didn't even ask for, but they've done it free of cost, is center console in PPF. This area takes a lot of battering, particularly as a family person. So the fact that they've put the PPF on here, it's just going to give me a lot of peace of mind. And again, you really can't see it. You can just about feel it on the edge, and that's about it. This is a nice bit matching the C63. You get the badge right in the middle saying Final Edition 1 of 999, which is great. And now we've got MBUX, which is, oh, look at that. Mercedes. That's terrible. You can't sell someone a car with a flipping reserve fuel tank. Shameful. Very bad. I'm disappointed in you, Northampton. Right, that was very distracting. Let's turn the car on, and I'm going to have to go straight to a bloody petrol station. I don't even know if it's going to do a proper emotion start, but we can give it a try. And wait, oh my, someone remove the plastic. Astaghfirullah. That is haram. You cannot, send it back, get a refund. What is this bullshit? You cannot take the bloody plastic off the Asian man's cars. Mind you, at least they kept it here. They've just about redeemed themselves with that. Never ever remove my plastic, goddammit. Never! Okay, V8 lovers, now your patience will be rewarded. Let's turn on the car and see what the E63 Final Edition sounds like, assuming we have enough bloody fuel for it to do the emotion start properly. Shameful, shameful. Just about enough, I think. Oh, she does sound good. Oh. AMG have still got it when they have V8s. They still got it. Lovely. Now guys, before we shoot off, some things that I want to share with you, part numbers and stuff for useful things that you can add to your own car. First of all, if you want this official AMG Afalterbach tote bag, here is the part number. Make a note of it now, take a screenshot. There's your screenshot, take it. Then the Afalterbach badge on the front that we applied. Again, a lot of requests I get for that. So there is the part number for that. What else am I going to be putting in the car? Couple of more things. This is for the Alcantara steering wheel. It is simply a suede shoe brush that I got from Dune. You can get it from anywhere, and it's absolutely perfect for keeping your Dynamica or Alcantara fresh. So do get that. Is that a blooper, or do you like just keep it in? It's hungry because it's got no fuel. So it's eating me. Oh, damn it. Anyway, microfiber cloth, which is fine. Oh, I love this. This is my favorite mod of all. And let me try and open it in a nice way so you maintain the part number. Check this beauty out. Yes, yes. There's the part number. Take note of it. Let's pop it on right now, come on. I'll be opening this fuel cap again in a few seconds as well, because the car hasn't got any bloody fuel. Right, let's pop off the old one, very easy to do. Pop in the new cap, and done. How much better is that? A nice little, if you know, you know, that's hidden within there. The final mod I love to do on my AMGs are the AMG Falterbach crest valve caps, totally optional. I just think it's a little bit more pretty if you want to see a nice little detail close up. Again, if you want the part number, there it is. And a final modification, not really a modification, it's just a nice AMG keyring that I bought from the new collection. Nice and simple, better than the standard one that you get with the car from Mercedes. And again, there is the part number. Right guys, now let's go see if this car can actually reach a petrol station, or will I break down, and will this be a monumental failure? So it's the next morning, welcome back home. The car has joined the other two Magno graphite grey cars, all of these in some way a final version of what they used to be. GT now, the last rear wheel drive V8 pure car. C63, obviously you know the story. Similar story with the E63 as well, the last ever V8 to grace that name. So as a trio of AMGs, that's a pretty good mix, I think. If I had nothing else, these three amazing together. And each one of these are going to get a separate full drive video early this year. As soon as the weather improves a little bit, you guys will get benefit of that. So I really hope that you've enjoyed this. I'm shooting off right now actually to film the next video, which is a collection of my brand new Taycan. Which one it is a big surprise. I can't wait to show you that. So make sure you tune into that. And if you've enjoyed this, as always, please do like, subscribe and share. And I'll see you guys next time.